Hello everyone! So I'm back. I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the 90s. I want to just hop right on into it because I make really long videos because I like to ramble a lot and I don't really like to. It just kind of happens. Sorry. See, okay, and that's the other thing. I lose my fucking train of thought. That shit just goes derail straight into a ditch. I don't know what happens, but it happens. So the 90s, again, in my last video I talked about how I wish I was how I kind of grew up a little earlier, or how I wish I went to high school a little earlier, like in the 90s, mid-90s. I feel like I missed out on a certain amount of things not being older during that time period. One of the things that I think I kind of missed out on was the whole mall rat stage. I mean, we did go to the mall when I was like in junior high and high school and stuff, but it wasn't quite what it was in like the early 90s to mid 90s, you know. I mean, when we'd go, I mean, it was literally, I can name the list. There was Hot Topic, there was Claire's, there was the Icing, there was another store called Afterthoughts, which I didn't go in as much because it was like, you had Claire's and then you had Claire's, the Icing was Claire's like teenage older sister that like she'd borrow clothes from, borrow hair accessories from, and then Afterthoughts was above the Icing as far as age-wise, like maybe high school girls, college girls maybe shop there. Now Claire's is still around. The Icing still around? The Icing is still around in certain places. I think one of the malls that I'm familiar with, there's still the Icing there. The mall that's close to me actually has two Claire's in it, but I'm thinking that one of the Claire's used to be an Icing, but literally, like, it's a giant mall, and like each end has its own Claire's. And I was like, what the fuck? But the last time I was there, they were both busy, so I guess if it works, whatever. You know, like prosperous malls, when shopping malls were actually the thing that you did, and I remember at a certain point in high school, like that was what we did every Friday night. At one point I lived in a town where there really wasn't much to do yet. It was an up-and-coming town, I guess, and they were building lots of stuff, but all you pretty much could do there was like go out to eat and go shopping. And that's still kind of how it is now in that town, but you know, I mean, we had a really nice mall, so yeah, why not go to the mall and just dick around for a couple of hours, maybe go see a movie, maybe go out to eat, hit up the Sbarro or the Chick-fil-A. Fucking Sbarro. Sbarro. Okay, fucking love Sbarro. You can only find it in malls, you know. I remember when the shopping mall in the next town opened when I was like 3 or 4, when I was a little baby. It was like the big thing. Like everybody in our whole town, because our town was small, there's nothing to do there. The whole town was like, oh my god, we have to go there, we have to go to the freaking mall. And, you know, just, it was like the thing to do. But the sad thing, like you walk into that mall now and it's not at all what it was. Like it just seems so much smaller and cramped and like dark. And, the food court, it used to have, it was a food court, but then like right in the middle it had like an arcade. Back in the day I remember, you know, like siblings like playing in the arcade, you know, and you know, I freaking remember that like so well. And now you walk into that same sad little food court and like there's, you know, portions of the walls that used to have restaurants that are just like tiled over, bricked over. There's like 3 or 4 restaurants that were there that are just closed and nothing's there anymore. There's like, you know, there's no, I don't know, there's no character. Oh, and the original cool, like totally 80s looking movie theater that was there, they got rid of and put in like a giant multiplex, whatever. You know, it was fun going to like the 4-screen little tiny dinky, you know, cinema. And that, I remember it had, the box office had black tile, and it had neon lights that were hot pink and lime green. And I remember thinking that was the coolest thing ever when I was a kid. I think I went and saw, not Batman, not like the original Batman, but the one after that. I don't remember what it was called, Batman Returns. The one with the penguin, and yeah, it was just the penguin, wasn't it? Penguin and Catwoman. I went and saw that at that fucking theater when I was like 4 or 5, I guess, when it came out, 5, 6 maybe. And I was scared shitless, but I thought it was so badass. I mean, I watched it, but I kind of watched it, you know, like that. But it was still, like, totally cool. Oh, what else? So the whole mall culture, I mean, like I said, we go to Hot Topic, we go to Claire's, we'd go to, Gadzooks when they actually had a Gadzooks. It's not there anymore. Spencer's. But Spencer's is such a, like, throwaway store to me. Like, it's not quite a Hot Topic, but it's sort of a Hot Topic. It's a Hot Topic with, like, sex toys in the back and, like, blacklight posters. What? Why? Just, you know, we always have to stop into Spencer's, but we never buy anything. I don't think I've bought anything from Spencer's in 15 years, you know. Hot Topic, they do have some really cute stuff every now and then. But do I buy it? Every once in a while. I remember I bought a lot of shit from there in high school. But not so much anymore. Moving on. Does anybody actually remember when MTV played music videos? But not just, I miss the old 90s MTV. I miss Beavis and Butthead. I miss when they used to show Ren and Stimpy. Like, Nickelodeon showed Ren and Stimpy. I'm going to talk about Nickelodeon at some point. Nickelodeon showed Ren and Stimpy, but MTV showed, like, raunchy Ren and Stimpy. You know? Stimpy, you idiot! Or what, I think that's what he said, I don't really remember. Just, I miss Ren and Stimpy, and they were so disgusting, and Powdered Toast Man, and, what was that? Log, log, log. Every boy and girl wants a log. Something like that. I don't remember the whole freaking song, but I just remember it being, like, so, like, the cartoon and the way it was drawn, it was so, like, 1950s and, like, perfect, but it, like, wasn't. It was obviously, like, fucked in the head. But that was great. Another thing I miss on MTV, Liquid Television. Liquid Television was this cartoon show that was shown in the early 90s to mid-90s? Maybe? It was a lot of random, and not just cartoons, there was a lot of random kind of clip showy type stuff. There was a little clip show thing where they would have, like, different episodes of different kind of things put together by different artists and that kind of thing, I guess. Remember there was a skit show in there called Dogman. There was a bunch of different little weird cartoons on there. What else? Did I already say Beavis and Butthead? If I didn't, then Beavis and Butthead. I miss me some Beavis and Butthead. That was a big part of my childhood. Like, my elementary school years were just all Beavis and Butthead. I mean, what else? Daria, I freaking miss Daria. I miss the old Real World. I miss, like, Real World, oh, the first one I ever saw was Boston. Freaking Boston. Okay, and then I miss Miami and all the shit that went down there. There was a lot of shit that went down in Miami. I miss Hawaii with Tech. Do you remember Tech? How he was a thing for a while? I think he was, like, a VJ on MTV for a little while. Oh, Jesse Camp was a VJ on MTV. Remember they had that big thing, that big contest, and it was between him and that Dave guy. And Jesse won, and Jesse was kind of like a thing that they showed on MTV every time, or every so often. But Dave, like, fucking stuck around and was, like, an actual VJ at MTV for years, even though Jesse won. But they knew that Jesse was, like, this just, you know, the kids loved him. but Dave was like the professional actual VJ guy, whereas Jesse was like, I woke up in a ditch this morning, what's up, y'all? You know, but Dave like fucking stuck around for like years, and I'm pretty sure he has like a radio show now. I don't know. I don't watch MTV anymore. I don't have cable. We have Netflix. That's all you need. But yeah, I miss all the old Road Rules. Do y'all remember Road Rules? But before it sucked. I remember the first season of Road Rules I ever watched was the Northern Trail, where they went up through like parts of Canada and like Wisconsin or Michigan or something, and I want to say there was some bitch named Stephanie or something that like every fucking episode something would happen and she would get hurt. I remember she like broke her leg or broke her ankle, and she like twisted her elbow and like cut the shit out of one of her fingers one time or something. It was just like literally every fucking episode this chick was getting hurt, and it was so annoying. The other things, there was always, in either Road Rules or Real World, there was always either a dude named Dan, Mike, it was never Daniel or Michael, it was always Dan. Like every season there was a guy named Dan. Who the hell, where are you finding these guys? And there was a lot of Stephanies, there was a lot of, I don't know, I miss the old Real World, like San Francisco with Puck and Pedro, all that stuff, when it was actually like, when it actually had meaning and these people were like, you know, trying to get their lives together and actually meant something. They weren't just getting drunk and having sex with each other. Like, there was a time in, I guess, the early 2000s or mid 2000s or something, where it took a nosedive and it just started sucking. And I do not care. I have never ever cared at all about these Road Rules versus challenges, like all-star things where they just go at each other and just try to fight and do all this crap. That never interested me. I don't want to see that. I didn't care about that at all. What else was on MTV that I really liked? I miss the old TRL. I don't miss the guy that hosted it. What the hell was his name? I'm so sick of that guy. Like, I was sick of him like 15 years ago, and he's still around trying to do his own thing and trying to have a TV show. Dude, go away. Carson Daly. I was so sick of Carson Daly. I get it. Like, okay. Stop trying to make it happen. No, no hate to him personally. It was just like, I just got tired of him. I don't know what it was. Just something about him. I don't know. What else? The show Made, where they would like pick somebody that wanted to become like, let's say like prom queen, and they were like the nerdy girl. So they would have like a pageant winner come and like train them for like 3 months on how to become like a prom like pageant queen, you know, and they would be able to you know, make it or win or whatever. I miss that show. I miss when they actually showed music videos. They would do that too. They would have like certain like shows that were like, you know, they would always play them on the weekends, mostly on Saturdays, where it'd be like top 20 industrial music videos of all time, or top 10, you know, Marilyn Manson videos or something. Like, they would even do that. Like, they would pick an artist and they would just go off, you know, whatever music videos they had. I remember Missy Elliott and remember like lots of, you know, Fugees and MTV, Spring Break MTV. There's a couple years in late 90s where it was badass. Not anymore. I don't even know if they show it anymore, but I just remember being like so deep into that. For like a couple of years. It was pretty badass. What else? Okay, so that. So I guess Nickelodeon. Everybody remember Doug? I miss Doug. I miss the hell out of Doug. I remember watching, okay, when I was a kid, cartoons, shows, they still made, like, holiday relevant shows. or episodes, I mean, and they don't do that anymore. Like, I was watching Bob's Burgers earlier, and Bob's Burgers still makes Halloween episodes, and I think that that's freaking amazing. There's nothing I loved more when I was a kid than watching TV, anything, in the month of October, because everything was Halloween themed. Everything was. Like, all the TV shows had like a Halloween episode or two. Bob's Burgers does it every year. I love that. Nothing does that anymore. It's like, no. So, Doug, do you remember SNICK? Oh my god, SNICK. SNICK was like a huge part of my, okay, like, Saturday nights, I had my fucking night planned, okay? We would get home from dinner at like 5 or 6. It would instantly go on to Nickelodeon, and I would just watch whatever on Nickelodeon or whatever until fucking SNICK started. And like, what was it? It would be like, oh fuck, what was the name of that show? All That or something, right? I remember watching Alex Mack. I remember, of course, watching Are You Afraid of the Dark? Oh my god, like, the most amazing show ever, right? Are You Afraid of the Dark? Loved it. What else? Oh god, there was so much different stuff. I think Rugrats might have been on SNICK at one point. I do remember watching, they had a couple, like, different, like, kind of tween or early teen sort of shows that were like All That might have kind of been on at different points. What else I remember? Oh my god, I'm totally blanking. There was a bunch of other shows that were on SNICK throughout the years. Well, okay, I can't remember. I remember, you know, Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was the big one. And then after SNICK was over, and like Nick at Night came on, I went over to, and I don't know if anybody remembers this or not, but like in the mid-90s, maybe mid-early 90s, the channel USA, which they still have now, they had USA Up All Night with Gilbert Gottfried. Does anybody fucking remember this? Please tell me somebody remembers this. It was, you know, specifically USA Up All Night with Gilbert Gottfried. And they would show like horrible like 80s movies that had like semi-nudity in it, and I would always watch that for some reason. Like Bikini Car Wash or something like that, you know, it would be that kind of caliber of movie. You know, and so they would show, you know, movies like that late at night, but then I would tune in to watch Duckman. Does anybody remember the show Duckman? It was a cartoon about a detective that was a duck. And it was like a raunchy cartoon. Like, it was like MTV After Midnight caliber type of stuff. I just remember watching it as a child. You don't understand everything, but it was a cartoon, and I loved that, you know, and I got some of the dark humor, but not all of it. Years ago, I remember I found a bunch of episodes on YouTube, and I was just like, oh my god, you know, but Duckman was awesome. Like, I want to say that was maybe on in like 95, 96, something like that. And then I remember after watching Duckman, I would go over and watch madtv, and then I would watch Saturday Night Live, and then I think after that I would watch the Crypt Keeper. I don't remember if that was actually the name of it, but yeah, it was the Crypt Keeper. I can't think of it. I mean, it was a big thing in the 90s. Like, there was a couple different movies, and he had the show, and you know, it was the Crypt Keeper. I can't think of what it was called. Right? It didn't have, I swear it had a title. But I would watch that, and it was this like horror show that was like always kind of fucked up. Like, it was just kind of messed up. And then after that was over, I would watch Channel 13, which was, you know, like PBS. And I would watch this British show called Red Dwarf. I don't know why. It was this show about this crew of like space guys. I don't know, I don't know, like just space guys like floating around in a, you know, spaceship or whatever in I remember there's this one guy, they always made fun of him, and he had like this big M on his forehead, and I don't remember his name. And then there was like this black guy who was named Cat, and he had like fangs, but he was kind of like, was he a cat or was he like a vampire? I don't remember. He had like this big like coif of hair, and he dressed like Little Richard, and he was like really suave with the ladies. And then there was this other guy that was like the captain, I guess? No, I think the guy with the M was the captain. They always made fun of him. But then there was this other guy. I don't remember the whole show, but that was my Saturday night, like every Saturday night for a long time. And I remember that just being like a big, you know, that was one of those things that I definitely remember. And God, I miss SNICK. And I miss those old days of MTV and those old days of Nickelodeon and all that stuff, you know. MTV is not like that anymore, you know. MTV doesn't show any good stuff anymore. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna let this one off for now. I'm gonna probably make another video after this. So like I've said before, I hope that everybody finds these interesting. I hope there's some 90s kids out there that remember the shit that I'm talking about. And if there's anything you want to talk about, go ahead and comment, and I'll comment back. If there's anything that I missed, go ahead and let me know. Subscribe if you like this. Thumbs up if you like it. I plan on making more of these because I think they're fun. So y'all have a good night. Bye.